Hello. Welcome to the Project 8 podcast. I am your host, Steve Mann. Just want to go over a few things. If you like the content, click like and share. Every little bit helps get us out there. If you're a musician, send me an email at steve.mann@project8podcast.com. You can also visit our website at www.project8podcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter or X, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Buzzsprout, Instagram. I've been getting a lot of followers on Instagram. I don't know if they're real or not. They look legit, but you never know today. So, if you'd like to donate, you can go to our website www.project8podcast.com. Click the link below at the bottom of the screen. Donate. Every bit helps. Everybody that has donated already, thank you. God bless you. We appreciate your help. So I want to get into something that hasn't really been discussed yet that I saw earlier this morning, and I posted on Facebook and X that I will be talking about this today. But it's these C40 cities, and I'm gonna go into that here in a minute. I also posted on X and Facebook uh, ExpressVPN link. If you and this is not a paid endorsement. It is just I use ExpressVPN. So if you would like 30 days free, just click my link. We both get 30 days free. Um, once you sign up and describe or subscribe, and you can also get the link for yourself and share it with your friends so you both get 30 days for free. I've been using ExpressVPN for about 30 days now, and I love it. I use it on my laptop, my cell phone, my router, all that good stuff. I love it. So if you'd like to get 30 days for free, click my link on Facebook or Twitter. You can find that under my profile at Project A Podcast. Again, that's not a paid endorsement. That is just something I would just like 30 days of ExpressVPN free. And I hope you do too. You'll love it. You'll enjoy it. I like it. And it keeps everything that I do private. So anyway, back to the C4 cities. Okay. I'm going to share my screen here. There we go. C4 is a global network of mayors of the world's leading cities that are united in action to confront the climate crisis. Here they go again, selling the climate crisis. You know, that's a scam. It's been going on for years. It's been going on before I was even born. So, who are we? Let's read about C40. 40 mission guiding principles and the action we are taking to create a sustainable future for everyone everywhere. See this? These people look familiar. This is from a summit in Buenos Aires in 2022. Folks, they're trying to sell it, and you all know it's about control. Okay, so who we are. C40 is a global network of nearly 100 mayors of the world's leading cities that are united in action to confront the climate crisis. Mayors of C40 cities are committed to using an exclusive science-based and collaborative approach to cut their fair share of emissions in half by 2030. 2030. Ain't there, something else going on around 2030 for the World Economic Forum? Okay, well, I'm gonna continue reading. Help the world limit global heating to 1.5 degrees Celsius and build healthy, equitable, and resilient communities. C4 supports mayors to do this by raising climate ambition through the 1.5 degrees Celsius climate and action plan, support high impact accelerators, and fostering innovation. That sounds a little like they want to control us. Just saying. Building equitable and thriving communities via global and regional programs, building a global movement through robust international advocacy and democracy. I got this information at www.c40.org if y'all want to check this out. I know you can see my screen and all that and see the web address. Check it out for yourselves, okay? Let's see where we're at. Oh, building a global movement through robust international advocacy and diplomacy, scaling up climate action, and sharing the best practices across high impact sectors, facilitating access to finance for investment in energy green or I'm sorry, in green jobs and protect that improve resilience in cities. Green jobs. Okay. What are we gonna be making batteries? Don't know. And there is a video that you can that I shared. I think I shared that on YouTube, or it's a YouTube video of their explanation. I think I shared that on Facebook and X. I gotta be careful where you know, um, send this stuff because I think I've been throttled or some type of shadow ban. I'm also on Rumble. You can find Project A podcast on Rumble. Check it out. I do get a lot more views than Facebook, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. So Rumble, I get the most views on. Um, I know why. So, uh, our cities in the C40 network earn their membership through action. They got to be green. Our leadership standards set the minimum requirements for all member cities and safeguard the integrity of C40 as a network of climate leaders. Membership operates on performance based requirements, not on fees. And every city in the C40 network is reviewed annually against our leadership standards. Okay, here's the C40 leadership standards 2021 to 2024. Number one, plan. City has adopted a resilient and inclusive climate plan of action aligned with the 1.5 degrees Celsius habitation of the Paris agreements. Ooh, a Paris agreements. You mean the Paris Accords? And updates it regularly. Two, deliver in 2024. Cities remain on track to deliver its climate action plan, contributing to increased resilience, equitable outcomes, and having C40's overall missions by 2030. Who else wants to do stuff by 2030? Doesn't this sound like the 2030 agenda that the World Economic Forum and Bill Gates are trying to instill upon us, these unelected officials that are trying to govern our world, our way of life. I'll let you decide and let you judge for yourself if this is right for you or your city. Okay. Number three, mainstream. City uses the necessary financial, regulatory, and other tools at their disposal to address the climate change crisis and mainstreams their equitable climate targets into the most impactful city decision-making processes. Or processes? It's processes. I hate when processes. No, processes. Number four, innovate city, innovate. Okay, number four. City innovates and starts taking exclusive and resilient action to address emissions beyond the direct control of the city government, such as associated with goods and services consumed in their city. Number five, lead. Mayor and the city demonstrate global climate leadership, inspire others to act in support of the Paris Agreement. Okay. So I don't know if you've been watching the news. I don't think it's really been covered in the news. Um, but Facebook, excuse me, Facebook, I've seen it on, and I think X, I've seen it the most on, excuse me, is where New York and California are trying to enact a um, traffic congestion toll, C40, C40. This is all part of the ESG, the climate change BS, all to control and tax the shit out of us. Okay. You think this is going to be free? No. Since New York and California are trying to enact a traffic congestion toll, that's another tax. That's another tax. So if I were you, I'd leave California, I'd leave New York, even though you might love the states, you're going to be paying higher taxes even by 2030, even more so than you are now. That's my prediction. That just write that down. Mock me. If you've seen the Outlander, you'd get that reference. Mock me, Jamie. Um, anyway, C40 mayors have been in the forefront of climate leadership for over 15 years, driving the conversation around climate action and environmental justice to place these issues front and center in our local policies and our and on the international agenda. So this is worldwide, folks. Okay, this is just not in the United States cities. This is worldwide. Okay, so let's view all C40 cities. Get down here. Look at that map. Look at that map. Let's go here. Maybe I'll get more. I seen them earlier. I seen like uh I think Phoenix was on there. Oh, we're filtering by region. Let's go by region. Africa. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Got Africa, South Central East Asia, East, Southeast Asia, and Oceania, Europe, Latin America, North America, South and West Asia. Okay, let's go North America, people. Ooh, you seen that? You seen those dots? Oh, look, we're gonna get a list. Let's expand. So here are C40 cities in the United States: Austin, Boston, Chicago, Houston, Los Angeles. Oh, look at Los Angeles, huh? I'm talking about that congestion toll tax. Okay. Miami, Montreal, Canada, New Orleans, New York City. Oh, there's New York. See it? Hmm. Philadelphia, Phoenix, Portland, San Francisco, Seattle, Toronto, Canada, Vancouver, Canada, Washington, D.C. That's no surprise. So you can pretty much see where they want to implement in these blue cities. Okay. In my opinion, they're blue. Um, I mean, even though Miami's in Florida and Florida's been doing pretty good with Ron DeSantis and standing up to the liberals as far as trying to make him do their bidding or make him change his policies. So he's been doing pretty good there. But a lot of these, I'm not surprised. Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, California, Seattle, Washington, you know, Houston, I'm a little surprised, but I'm not. I think that's a blue city. Um, Chicago, definitely not surprised. Boston, not surprised. Austin, though, I'm surprised there too, uh, because I would think that would Austin, Texas is pretty much, let's say purple. There's a lot of blue in there and a lot of red. Anyway, so that is C40. What we do, news and insights. Let's go to news and insights. Research and knowledge. Research and knowledge. Sorry. C40 provides research, analysis, implementation guides, and more to support and empower cities to transition towards a green and just economy where everyone, everywhere can thrive. It's starting to sound like it's some kind of DEI video, right? Turning data into effective, equitable. Here we go again. Science-based climate change. C40 Cities is committed to turning data into climate action that science is based, impactful and uh, equitable. Through C40's extensive networks, partnerships, programs, and access to global city data, we conduct research and analysis on key areas across the entire environmental sector. This includes climate adaptation, air quality, energy and buildings, food systems, ooh, hey, transportation, urban planning, waste management, green job creation, green finance, and more. See any keywords in there that you've heard before? Yeah, me too. Me too. Let's take a look at this. C40 Knowledge Hub, designed for urban practitioners, policymakers, and anyone interested in climate solutions. The C40 Knowledge Hub captures the case for action, the most impactful and practical steps to take, and how to implement them. Research and analysis. Our research and analysis leverage C40's extensive network or of partnerships, unique organizational insight and leadership, and unprecedented database of city actions to demonstrate the power of the dark side, the power of cities to address the climate crisis. Case studies. Learn about the successful actions taken in cities that have effectively reduced climate risk and created healthier and more sustainable cities for all residents. Boy, this just sounds nice, doesn't it? Hey, I'm not for not being green or being responsible. Um, but I mean, I have a greenhouse, and I just we just started growing our own vegetables um over the summer. We had a tomato plant, and not to change the subject, but we had a tomato plant that got whipped by a storm that came in, and so I took it and I tried to nurse it. And I'm like, man, this thing's not gonna it's not gonna turn out, So near the fall, I just kept watering it and taking care of it. Put some plant food in there, and it snapped back. And I checked yesterday, and I finally got my first 3 tomatoes. They're about about as big as my pinky here, right here, if you can see that. And I was pleased as punch because I didn't think that thing was gonna make it. So, we do recycle our own soil. Like, we'll we'll take it from, plants. We'll put it in, plants that died off, um, in the fall, put it in with some new soil, and put it in, the greenhouse for future planting. So, anyway, uh, but this stuff here is not gonna come free. I think the C40 cities are gonna be more of these smart cities that they have. Uh, that's just the feeling. I got a bad feeling on this. I really do. They keep talking smart cities and all that. I think that this is part of that initiative by 2030 where they're gonna implement the smart cities. It's more like gonna be like a concentration camp to where you work, you shop, you go home, sleep, get up the next day, do it all over again. That's not freedom. And then limit to what sector of the you can't leave your sector. We're like China's implementing right now with the digital currency and digital ID and all that. I think we're all headed in that direction, and we have to get the word out and wake these people up and say, no, we're not following these rules. We're not going to become a C40 city, plain and simple. Kick rocks, find some other idiot, right? So anyway, C40 Center for Climate Change, Climate Policy, and Economy. The center provides mayors, policymakers, and city practitioners with the evidence analysis and policy guidance needed to implement progressive and equitable climate action. And then you can click on to find out more. See what other goodies we have. I mean, like this stuff here, these recycling bins. I mean, if you put that in the city, I don't have problems with that. Just as long as it's budgeted in the city and it doesn't cost the taxpayers any more than uh, they're already paying out. No more new taxes. We're getting taxed out the yin yang right now. So let's go green and just transition for 500. Green and just transition. A green and just transition champions inclusively. There's inclusively. Here we go again. And equity, resilience, communities, sustainable development, and the urgent need for quality green jobs for all. You remember I might be dating this, but you remember Mad Max and Beyond Thunderdome where they Master Blaster had all those workers down there making fuel. Hmm. Is that is that what these green jobs are? Are we going to be down there in pig squalor making fuel? I mean, it's recycling, right? Who's gonna have that job? Probably the ones that resist and say, no, not today. What is a green and just transition? A green and just transition is C40's vision for a greener, healthier, and more prosperous future for everyone, everywhere. By investing in climate solutions that reduce greenhouse gas emissions, GHG, and keep global heating below 1.5 degrees Celsius, city leaders can mitigate climate breakdown and deliver health benefits, create jobs, and tackle systemic inequality. Tackle systemic inequality. Where have we heard that before? Let me. World Economic Forum, the Klaus Schwab, mhm, Bill Gates. Mhm. To achieve a green and transition, or I'm sorry, a green and just transition, C40 cities have committed to creating new green jobs within an inclusive economy, offering career paths away from the high carbon sectors of yesterday to the low carbon industries of today and tomorrow, working towards resilience and equity by providing fundamental public services for everyone while channeling investments to public services which such as clean water, food, sanitation, excuse me, affordable and safe housing, public transit, cycling, electric vehicles, and low emission zones. Taking action to improve health and well-being by giving public space back to the people and nature, reclaiming streets, improving air quality, and creating livable communities, collaborating and engaging with residents, communities, and workers to understand the challenges they face as a part of the transition, ensuring that all stakeholders benefit as cities implement climate solutions. Stakeholders. Here we go again with the stakeholder shit. Okay. The World Economic Forum has used that word a lot. If you haven't seen any of those videos of the Ec- World Economic Forum of summits and all that, you need to go look at it. Stakeholders. Uh, When I think of stakeholders, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now. But you get the gist. So if you want, I'm going back to what I was talking about. But if you want to read this more on your for yourself, you go to www.c40.org and just scroll around, look at it, educate yourself what this is, and see if it's right for you. I mean, it's not right for me. This is another seems like another control grab. But anyway, stop sharing my screen here. Do, do, do. There we go. So stakeholders, okay? When I think of stakeholders, I think of somebody in a collective, let's say you own a stock. You're a stakeholder. Even though if it's one stock that you own of that company, you're a stakeholder. So who's the stakeholders in these C40s? Is it BlackRock, Vanguard, all the original players or usual suspects, I should say? Who are the Bill Gates Foundation? Is he a stakeholder in all this? If so, I don't want no part of it. I don't want no fake beef. I don't want some jacked up food. I want the food that I know that is real and healthy. I don't want nothing sprayed on it. I don't want no GMOs. Uh, in Russia, GMOs is illegal. You'll be jailed if you're a food manufacturer and you have GMOs. You will get jailed in Russia. So why don't we stop with the GMOs and all that bullshit here in the United States? Let's have if you want to move to a more healthier, sustainable um, way of life, then get rid of all the chemicals that you're putting in the foods and in the meats. Okay. Uh, I was watching a video yesterday. Bill Gates is talking about reducing the methane from cattle, and it's like it's not the cattle. It's we don't have a climate crisis like they're telling us that we do. There's normal cycles that the earth goes through. CO2 is not hurting the planet. It actually helps the planet. Methane does not hurt the planet. Actually, I think methane is a natural gas. Look that up. So why are we trying to uh, reduce methane? The science does not speak for the facts. Look up the facts. Look up all the gases that they say is part of climate change, or back in the 90s, it was like the ozone's tearing. We can't use aerosol cans anymore. And they banned aerosol cans and certain refrigerants, R12 being one of them. Now we use 134A because they say it's non aerosol, but to me, it looks aerosol. So, for the greater good, right? Do it for the greater good. The science doesn't support the facts, or the climate change crisis facts does not support this. You know what I'm trying to say. We need CO2. We can convert methane gas into a fuel of some sorts, right? Right? Uh, we tried using corn ethanol in the cars. I think they're still using it today for combustible engine fuel. Okay, that was the big thing too in the 90s. We want to be more green. We're going to use this ethanol to reduce emissions. Okay. Some of the older cars, it didn't work. Some of the newer cars, it worked just fine. Okay. So what happened with that? So they keep doing this stuff, doing this stuff, doing this stuff. And then they say, oh, well, it's not getting any better. We still have a crisis. Help us, Al Gore. Help us. You know, God bless. Give it a break. I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid no more at all. When I heard it in the 90s with the aerosol bullshit, I was skeptical. And you know what? You know what's really sad about that is the 134A was more expensive than the R12 was. You can get a can of R12 for like, I don't know, 4 or $5. But today to get a can for air conditioning refrigerant, that's what it is, for your vehicles, 134A is for 2 cans, probably about 18, $20. Okay? It's all about money. That's all it is. It's all about control and money. We know better than you. We're smarter than you. You're gonna pay for this, and we're gonna get rich, and we're gonna smile our asses all the way to the bank. That's what it is. Do your research. Do your research. There's always some kind of climate scare all the way back from the 30s. Look it up. I remember growing up, my grandma and grandpa told me that when they were growing up, they said the world was going to end by 1950. Well, 1950 came and went. And then they said, oh, the world's going to end in the 2000s. Well, 2000s came and went. Here we are 23 years later. The climate crisis is just a money grab. That's all it is. Think about it. Come on. And these C40 cities, I don't want no part of it. I will not live in one of them. I would rather, if I was forced to live in one of those, I would rather pack up all my kids, all my belongings, all my grandchildren, and build something out in the woods somewhere and just live the rest of our lives in peace and just provide for ourselves because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of getting taxed for shit that ain't even real. Tired of giving my money away and not having anything to show for it except for bunk food and bad potato chips. You can make your own. Sorry. You can make your own potato chips. You know, uh, especially, I mean, if you were homesteading, you don't need vegetable oil. You don't need uh, canola oil. Um, you can just, use your bacon fat to fry up anything, and it's healthy for you. Our parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents, there was a reason why they saved their bacon grease and all that because they would use it for cooking or frying something else up, like some liver and onions or something, which is really good, one of my favorites. But anyway, um, and they all lived to be in, you know, my grandma and grandpa lived in to be like my grandpa died, he was like 75, I think he was. My grandma was like 93. My other grandma was 89. And my other grandpa was, I think 84. So they lived long lives. They didn't live to 100, which was the goal, but um, they lived long lives. My father, on the other hand, did not because he didn't take care of himself. He had diabetes, and he died at 62 years old um, due to 2 heart attacks and 2 strokes because he didn't take care of himself. So, um, but the climate change um, is, in my opinion only. Project A podcast is strictly of my opinion, nobody else's. Just to put that disclaimer out there. The climate crisis bullshit is just that. It's bullshit, and you should you should do your research and study it and get your conclusion on it and your thoughts and make your own decision. Just like anything else. Somebody says, "Well, I'm not giving you financial advice, do your own research." Well, I'm telling you to do your own research on this. I'm not telling you to take my word for it, okay? So anyway, that is C40 today. C40 cities that we discussed and that I plan on not living there or in any of those cities. So anyway, um so if you're a artist in a band, musical artist, or in a band, you can send me an email at steve.man@projectapodcast.com. If you'd like to donate, you can scan that QR code or go to our website at www.projectapodcast.com. Scroll to the bottom and click donate. Every little bit helps, keeps the show running. For those who have donated already, thank you and God bless you. You can follow us on Rumble. Excuse me. YouTube, X, Facebook, or Instagram. Thank you for watching, and God bless and keep safe out there and do your own research. Have a blessed day.